Welcome back to Planet Z News. How crazy were those games this weekend? Definitely one for the ages. I mean, think about how many block kicks there were. Punts. Did they help out your team this week with your defensive special teams? Before we recap any games, I just want to say thank you to the city of Cleveland. Thank you for beating Green Bay. Nobody else in the NFC North so far was able to, so thank you. Although, the Lions did return the favor this week by beating the Ravens. So we're even now. No more favors, especially with the Tigers playing Cleveland all week. Anyway, after week 3, the standings are split right down the middle. Either you have 2 wins, or you're sad enough to only have one single matchup. No big deal, fellow losers. It just means that the pack hasn't left you in the dust yet. There's still a short window of opportunity here to get the ball rolling before it's too late. One team, however, stands alone at the top of the standings, with an undefeated 3-0 record. How does she do it, you may ask? Simple. She was the only one brave enough to believe in the Indianapolis Colts under Daniel Jones. Jonathan Taylor is the highest scoring non-quarterback through 3 weeks and averages 25 points in those games. Oh, and did I mention his teammate, Michael Pittman? He's wide receiver 12 on the year. Folks, I'm just going to ask the question that we all have. Are the Colts good this year? Is Elizabeth good this year? We're all going to find out very soon now that she's lost her star receiver, Sedarian Lamb. He left the Week 3 contest without logging a single point. The initial diagnosis is a high ankle sprain, and depending on the severity, that could be several weeks of missed games. Hey, speaking of disappointing injuries, where are my fellow Bengals drafters at? How we feeling? Bad, huh? The 2023 Browning Linsanity run is long forgotten, as literally not one player on the Bengals has put up more than 10 fantasy points this week. This marks Jamar Chase's second game with 9 or less points. Great first pick here, Zachary. My team is looking like they're ready to punch my ticket to the losers consolation bracket again this year. It's a good thing I'm stuck here in space, because all this recording equipment's already here. But you know who's not having a tough time getting the season going? Dylan. Lamar Jackson, the number 1 player in fantasy football right now, put up 27 points in a game that he was sacked 7 times. It's not even fair, man. It's like Lamar's at the arcade with a bucket full of quarters, just feeding the machine free guy after free guy, and coming away with near 30-point games no matter what the outcome. We really let him get Puka Nacua and Nico Collins too? Come on, guys. What are we doing here? Looks like Dylan is going to teach TJ and Benjamin a new word soon, and that word is champion. And champion is a word that runner-up of this contest, Jake, would like to keep all to himself. An underwhelming performance from Malik Neighbors sticks out in this loss. If you tuned into the New York Giants game, I hope you had... If you tuned into this New York Giants game, I hope you had a bottle of Pepto handy. Russell Wilson sputtered and stalled out what may have been the very worst quarterback performance I've ever seen with my own eyes. Giants have already named rookie quarterback Jackson Dart as the new starter, so we'll see if this helps Neighbors get back to those highlight reel performances. But we turn to the lighter side, as league hottie Rebecca tallies her first win on her fantasy season. Big games from Devonta Smith and Cortland Sutton were pivotal in her matchup this week, where her starter quarterback Jaden Daniels was unavailable. She's no doubt feeling more confident as the weeks progress, as her bench put up 66 points on their own as her players battle for the starting positions. Which unfortunately means that Justin loses his matchup that he was favored to win, with really no especially poor performance, save of course for the Bengals defense who netted him a negative score. Now, I promise I wouldn't say anything, but this is something I saw with my very own eyes. I had Justin over for Thursday Night Football this week. To my left, I hear Rebecca, his opponent, say, "Oh, I almost forgot to pick up a defense this week. Can you help me with that? The ESPN app is just terrible." When what do I see to my right but Justin Dakota Hayes grab his phone and add the very same defense that Rebecca was planning to grab? That defense? Well, let's just say they didn't have a very good week. Now I'm going to stay out of it. That's just the facts. On to the next matchup. Wait, do you hear that? It sounds like a pack of players. 24, 24, 24. That's all that Jared saw when he checked his final score this week, as Christian McCaffrey, Garrett Wilson, and Jordan Mason put up huge games this week. Now let me tell you something about my friend Jared. He is a believer of men. And when people count his guys out, he just digs in even deeper and pulls out a win to silence the naysayers. Now this is a clean show, so I can't directly quote him, but a player this past weekend said, "I run this stuff, fella." And I think Jared's squad really embodies that. Now this whole believing when nobody else does can go 2 ways. It can pay off in the way that it has with Jared, or it can lead to trusting a product that just isn't there, like we're seeing with Stacy's quarterback, Kyler Murray. And her running back room just got a lot messier with the downgrade to the offense in Cincinnati and a season-ending injury to James Conner. Luckily for her, Javonte Williams is ready to fill in as he's been the running back 7 on the season so far. Consider this a minor speed bump on her road to glory as she looks to leap out of last place. As she takes on, wait a minute, she plays me this week. Oh, then she's going down. You're going down, Stacy. You've never been anything nice to me, but this week you're going down. Whew. Almost lost my cool there. Now for a rivalry with some actual history. Now, as you may remember, Rachel and Shandell were into the championship game just 2 years ago, and this week went a lot like that one. Rachel saw her opportunity and pounced with a big bounce-back game from A.J. Brown, who she was beginning to doubt. Blicky Pearsall also had a player of the game performance in his game. Rachel finds herself in a clump of winners, all tied for second place. Shandell keeps her streak alive of having her defense in her top players for the week. Folks, if you didn't see the absolute clinic that the Minnesota Vikings put on this week, you missed something incredible. Now, this is especially important because Shandell drafted a defense in the 11th round. But, if you look closely, she benched that defense this week. I'm being told that adds up to a grand total of 2 rostered defenses. Our advanced analytics say that only 8% of championship teams roster more than one defense. So we're truly witnessing something special here with this unprecedented strategy. Lastly, Matthew takes his luck boost with the Hedges Derby win and spits in the face of it. Amon-Ra and James Cook tried to carry the weight of it all, but half his roster posted less than 10 points. It was too tall a task. Shireen was victorious this week in a much-needed victory, leapfrogging half the league as her points scored total is enough to leave every other single-game winner in her dust. The true test will be against her own daughter in what we're calling the Bowl. Seriously, if you've ever watched a football game with Shireen or Rachel, you know that every single play they go, I'm talking every play. It's endearing. I'm glad I'm safe on this spaceship where the oxygen bottles are aplenty, because these two watching their matchup in the same room, you can be sure they'll be sucking all the air out of it. Now that's all the matchups from last week, but before we go, it's time for a special fall equinox edition of the Hedges Derby. Alright everyone, remember which horse belongs to you. Send all your energy to your little digital horse. And here we go. And it looks like Jared is our lucky horse of the week. Don't let that go to waste. All right, that's it this week. I'll see you all next week.